Taking up the case of People of the State of Michigan versus Dustin Lee Sutton. This is file number 25-14050. FH, addresses, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Aaron House on behalf of the people.
Thank you, Your Honor. Patrick Cherry on behalf of Mr. Sutton, who is present.
We are here for a sentencing on a conviction involving a plea to 3 counts of criminal sexual conduct in the 3rd degree.
The prosecutor and I have been in communication, so I guess I'll address all of them. That way we can sort of streamline this. I believe we're in agreement that on all 3 counts, OB12 should be scored at 0 points, bringing the total OB to 95. Does not change the scoring, and that's because conduct scored in OBs 11 and 13 cannot be scored in OB12.
I understand.
And I'm in agreement with that, Your Honor.
We'll go ahead and strike offense variable 12 from 10 points to 0. That changes the total from 105 to 95 for each of the 3 counts.
Their prior record, it has 1 felony conviction, 1 misdemeanor conviction, former probation, former parole. Those should all be zeros and nos, because this offense occurred prior to all of the subsequent.
Yeah.
And there is no argument that there were subsequent offenses, just that this should be.
And I'm in agreement with that also, Your Honor. I think.
Mr. Stapleton, you got all that?
I did, yes.
All right.
The time that Mr. Sutton served between October 4th, 2016 and January 25th, 2017, he was serving a sentence under another case, and so he does not get credit for that.
For the
113 days.
Yep. All right. Thank you. I actually had a question mark there. So.
And that is correct, Your Honor. For the record, Mr. Stapleton and I have had contact with the court out in Washington and confirmed that that was related to his subsequent sexual assault when he was arrested for, but had nothing to do with this case, and there was no extradition going on. I've also checked, just for the record, with the Michigan State Police. They have no record of that, and the Wexford County Prosecutor's Office has no record of ever being contacted about that.
Thank you. Mr. Cherry, next.
EFA 284, page 1, under weaknesses. So you'd ask that the last sentence be stricken, as this is a first offense.
For the fact that this report will follow him through the prison system and be reviewed by the parole board, I think it should be accurate. So I think it should just be clear that it was subsequent.
All right, Mr. Stapleton, go ahead and make that change.
Okay.
I understand that the victim of the case wishes to make a statement.
She does try.
All right, she may come forward. All right, ma'am, for the record, please state me your first and your last name.
Isabella Keithley.
Yes, ma'am. What is it you'd like to say today?
Sorry.
It's okay, take your time.
I would just like to say thank you for doing all of this. Thank you to my attorney for doing this for me. It's been 11 years that I've dealt with this. 10 years I was sexually abused for my life, and I spent the next 11 years trying to deal with that on my own, without any justice for myself, because I never got an answer. I never was told anything. And for 11 years, I thought the justice system didn't care. I thought the legal system didn't care at all. And he went on to hurt more people. And that's what hurts me the most, is that it didn't stop with me. It continued on to hurt multiple people. And he's just a danger to women. He's a danger to society in general and to children. You should never touch children, let alone physically hurt them. And yeah, I just want to make it clear that he is dangerous to women. Even though it may not look physical, it's very mental after a certain point.
Sure, I understand.
So, but thank you.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much, Isabel. You may take your seat. Thank you. I'll just go ahead and allow allocution from Ms. House. Ms. House?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. What the defendant did to the victim was a horrible violation and betrayal of her. She was a vulnerable young person, and he came into her home as a guest in her home and then proceeded to, provide her with alcohol and then sexually molest her on multiple occasions. And he seemed to have almost no remorse for it, in that he sort of talked about it proudly with her in these text messages. It was an excellent investigation by Trooper Moore with the state police. And then an excellent interview out in Washington where he ended up admitting to all of this conduct. And then what's incredibly disturbing to me is he admitted to that conduct in October. And then he sexually assaulted a sleeping victim in December of that same year. So there is great concern about what he's done. I respect the fact that he pled guilty to all three of these charges, that he is taking ownership of it now, this many years later. I think that that's important. For the victim, it's just been really important that this needs to come to light. And it's just a highlight to me of how often the court system, inadvertently fails victims. The state police did an excellent investigation. The prosecutor's office charged this case right away. But then because the defendant was living out of state, he was just allowed to get away with this and continue to perpetrate on other people for many years. And this victim was left feeling like what happened to her didn't matter.
I was the prosecutor, not when these charges came about, before I took this bench. Had I known the case was sitting there in my shelves, I would have had somebody call and let you know what the status was. But the prosecutor's offices and the police agencies are busy. Not to say your case wasn't valuable. Please don't take anything like that away. Unless there's some system to keep reminding, hey, you've got these other 200 cases sitting here while you're still dealing with your other 400 cases currently going on. That's not a good excuse, but it's just to kind of explain to you. When you charge a case, it sits there and you wait and you work on all the other cases, chop all the other wood until that person gets picked up. So it's very unfortunate that you did not have somebody to go to, all right, to ask this question. Anyways, I'm very sorry that you had that delay. Well, I know that the case has an agreed upon Killebrew sentence to 6 to 15. Find here, based upon the absconder status, is the fact that he picked up a couple offenses while elsewhere in the country, had a personal protection order. Another offense involved indecent liberties, which seems to be very similar to these offenses here. Definitely that this sentence is reasonable and proportionate. Again, I'm surprised. I know Mr. Che was in the service. I retired as a JAG officer. I've been a prosecutor, a defense attorney, a senior defense attorney, an appellate attorney, and a judge and a magistrate and an instructor. I have no idea how they did not pick this case up. It would have been an easy case. And when I was a prosecutor, I always had my court-martial convening authority informed of every case that came off, even from out in the civilian world. So there's been a benefit to you, Mr. Sutton, because of that. Court assesses $368 state minimum fee, the $130 crime victims right fund fee. We're going to say a $300 court cost, a $500 fine, a $300 attorney fee. Do I need to do DNA fee? Well, did he have a DNA fee back in? Well, he probably didn't have one because he wasn't arrested here. So there should be a DNA order. If not, we'll make sure you get one signed, and that'll be payable. That'll be payable to the Washington County Sheriff Department since he'll be in it. Well, at least until he's in the jail. No supervision fees because there's no probation. There will be a prison sentence pursuant to the pretrial agreement. That will be 72 to 180 months. Anything else, Ms. Howe?
Just that the court would order that he have no contact with the victim.
The court will put a no contact order in, make that a term. Well, no, I'll have to add that it's not a term of probation. Madam Clerk, you just want to put that in the other line at the bottom of page 2. Thank you. Ms. Keeley? And best of luck to you. I hope that with this is be able to bring you some closure in some sense, and wish you the best of luck as well. We are here.
I think you're on